Hey everybody, I'm Shane Ireland,
I'm Sykes, Wilford.
and today we are here to talk about a very exciting project to commemorate Smokingpipes' 25th anniversary. So, Claudio Cavicchi,
Yes.
why don't you tell us a little bit about how integral Claudio's brand of pipes have been to the company for the entire history of the company?
Yeah. Almost the entire history of the company. So we've started working with Claudio in maybe 2005.
Yeah.
So we're talking 20 years at this
20
point.
years, yeah. Oh yeah.
And we have been his primary retailer, and he has been a major pipe maker on smoking pipes that entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Claudio is exacting in a way that few humans are. I was
Yes.
going to say pipe makers, but I really just mean
In general.
In general.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of my favorite anecdotes early on with Claudio was us asking him the very natural question of, what do we do if we have returns? And he said, what do you mean? And we said, well,
Stuff goes wrong.
stuff goes wrong. Yeah, like there are problems with pipes sometimes. Like
Yeah.
as innocuous as you forget to stamp them.
Or you need to polish it again. Or whatever,
Whatever. Like this is just part of our lives. And he's like, you will have no problems like that with my pipes. And
And
we're
he's
like,
right.
okay. And
Yeah.
in 25 years, there's been one out of the thousands and thousands and thousands of pipes.
Yeah.
And I kind of rubbed it in.
Yeah,
Because,
of course.
Like,
Yes,
yeah.
of course. And I'm sure he's still thinking, he's like, never again. No, but Claudio really is a special pipe maker. He occupies this space for me that is like, as a collector and admirer of the craft, somewhere between like a traditional and old school approach with like modern standards and level of quality. And even in from a design perspective, like he's not what you would typically think of when you're thinking about the Italian school. Clearly he's influenced by Anglo-French pipes like many pipe makers are, but there's this really nice balance between some neoclassical type proportions and then a lot of stuff that just feels like modern interpretations of like English pipes, basically.
Yes. But he has a really diverse set of aesthetic resources that he draws upon. Like,
A bit of a chameleon.
yeah. He overtly references Danish pipe making sometimes. There's a very particular Adam Davidson shape from years ago that
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That he fell in love with and then started making his version of.
it,
So
yeah.
he draws on a lot of aesthetic inspirations.
He just
that are
loves
pretty
pipes.
diverse.
Yeah, he just loves pipes.
And he just loves pipes.
In terms of quality, fit, and finish, I think everybody that's ever held or experienced one of Claudio's pipes would attest to this, but they're perfect. They're always perfect. The level of detail and the meticulousness is always evident, and it's always a pleasure to see what he's been working on. Now, before we get into the specifics about these pipes for the Smokingpipes 25th anniversary, this is also sort of a callback.
Yes, absolutely. So for Smokingpipes' 10th anniversary, Claudio made the anniversary pipe for us. It was a Lovat.
A Lovat with silver.
With silver,
Yep.
yeah. And so it was super fun talking through that whole project with him again over the last 18 months or whatever. And then realizing another anniversary project with him.
Yeah, I remember as a customer before I worked here, I remember when those were released, like distinctively, like fantastic shape, great classic Lovat, and the silver work was awesome. So I love the fact that what we've elected to do again with Claudio for the 25th anniversary is another interpretation of a archetypal classic shape, and it also features silver like the 2010 anniversary pipe for the 10th anniversary did. So let's talk a little bit about the shape, the silver work, the choice for the stem. I love the little step down in the negative space there. I love that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know what it is about like a broken line on a shank to emphasize certain characteristics of the pipe that always works for me. And also just the quality of the wood here is insane.
Like almost impossibly good.
Oh God, this is the kind of stuff that I think other pipe makers out there are looking at an assortment of pipes all in the same model like this with consistently amazing grain. Like that's got to make you jealous. I mean, so we have a representation of a couple of his different grades, which is nice. So there's a couple of different price points here. If you're not familiar with Claudio's grading system, typically the smooths are graded with C's from 3 to 5, and that's what we have here.
Yes.
We have grade 3 C's on this side. There's some 4 C's in the middle and 5 C's on the end, and all of them are stunning. This is also a departure stain-wise from what he typically does.
So one of the ways, when he and I were talking about sort of finalizing this project, the beginning of this year, like January.
Yeah.
We were talking about ways to tie it together with the silver and have a consistent stain across the series, and also differentiate it from his regular pipes. And we settled on using the Perla stain. This is the same stain he uses for the Perla grade.
Perla grade, which is really cool. And that would be the first time that he's used that stain on C-graded pieces.
To my knowledge, yes.
Yeah. Awesome. And it just turned out great. I mean, the quality of the wood here, the contrast that you're getting just from the grain is really, really vibrant.
And it's warm and rich and comforting. I also just really like the stain.
Yeah, absolutely. 3C, 4C, and 5C grades, all wearing the Perla finish with sterling silver and the Smokingpipes 25th anniversary stamp. And this is 25 pieces.
25 pieces for 25 years.
Highly limited, gorgeous shape, perfect proportions, great smokers, no doubt. Check them out now on site, guys. Thanks, Claudio.
Thank you, Claudio. Thanks, everybody.